So good evening, everyone. Let's start with our session. But before we start, let's revise what we learned in previous session. So in previous session, we discussed about safe browsing, and there's a difference between browsing and surfing. Browsing is when we have an intention while going through the internet, and surfing is we don't have any intention or a specific goal in our mind, and we are just going through internet. So that's the main difference between surfing and browsing. Then we learned about safe browsing. So internet is full of valuable information, but not all websites are safe. So we discussed about how unsafe browsing can lead to data theft, scams, or device infections, which can ultimately harm ourselves. So safe browsing is equals to smart browsing. Then we discussed about identifying the secure websites, or what are the symbols that indicate that the websites are safe. The first one was HTTPS connection, that in HTTPS, where S stands for secure, and in S for secure means it has an SSL certificate, which ensures that the traffic going to the website is encrypted. Second, we have a padlock icon in the address bar, which tells us that the website is secure. Thirdly, the domain. We must check for misspelled domains that are present on the in the address bar. If the domain is suspicious, we must not open it, and we must exit if we have mistakenly clicked on it. After that, we discussed about warning signs of unsafe websites. What are the warning signs that we must look for in unsafe websites, even though it has all these indicators that we discussed earlier? So we must see that if it has personal pop-ups asking for personal information, it has too many ads or flashy download buttons, it will not have any about us or contact page, it will have poor design and poor grammar or low quality images. After that, we discussed about clearing browser cache, and we discussed about what is cache and how to clear it. So temporary files that are used to load websites faster are cache files. Why do we clear it? We need to clear it to improve speed, fix loading errors, and protect our data on shared devices. How can we clear it? We can clear it by clicking on three dots in the browser and then going to settings, going to privacy and security, and then clearing browsing data. Select the images and files and select a time range, and then hit clear data. That's how we can clear the cache data on our browser. After that, we discussed about what are safe browsing practices. So safe browsing practices were always logging out website after use, and then using updated browsers. We must not save passwords on public or shared computers, and avoid suspicious free downloads. We also discussed about some extensions that we must use in order to be safe online, such as HTTPS everywhere and ad blockers that enhanced our security. After that, we discussed about some social media browsing tips, how and what we should browse on social media. We must use official applications or websites, not modded versions. We must be cautious while clicking on stories, reels, or links in bios. We must not click on you won a prize ad surveys, and we must turn off autoplay videos to save data and avoid exposure to harmful content. Then we moved on to mobile browser safety. Like we must prefer applications over browsing on browsers. We must use incognito mode if we are browsing on a public Wi-Fi or a friend's phone, and we must avoid entering passwords or personal detail on mobile browser pop-ups. Then we had a cyber hygiene checklist that in which we have use secure Wi-Fi, do not enter sensitive data on unknown sites, keep browser extensions minimal, turn off pop-ups and redirections, use antivirus and firewall protection. So that is all we discussed in previous session. Today is also we will be discussing about safe browsing, but today we will be discussing about emails. Emails are the most common and the most widely used technique that will be used to get the data out of us or get the data out of the victim. So, what are emails? Emails are basically electronic mails that are used as a mode of formal communication in today's world. which can also be used by threat actors. Threat actors means the hackers to target and get the information out of us. So why does it matter, or why is email security matters? It matters because it is the most common communication tool and one of the most targeted by cyber criminals. Emails are the most common tool because emails can be sent by anybody to anybody, right? And most cyber attacks begins with a malicious email. They will attach a link, attach a file, and then send it to you. Once you open it or download it to your device, you are infected, and their step one is completed. The moment you interact with that email, their step one is completed. They curate those emails in such a format that you will be intrigued to interact with that email. So it that is the reason why we must understand why the email security matters. Understanding threats and adopting safe practices will help us prevent identity theft, data loss, and financial fraud. Now, what are the common email threats that are present? As I said, that spam emails or malware attachments or phishing emails, these are the most common email threats that are present today. Spam emails, unwanted or unsolicited messages, often prompting products or scams, can clog inboxes and sometimes carry malware links. So what happens is we get a lot of spam emails. That includes some business promotion emails, new product launch emails, and we might have subscribed to newsletters. Those are also spam emails. So these emails clog our inboxes, and what happens is if the email is reported spam by a large group of people, it will also be sent to a spam, even if it is an important email. So what happens is they will create a new domain and create a new server that will send their emails to the victims or to the targeted personnel. So they'll create a server and then they send those emails to those targeted persons, which will not be shown as spam. So we must not interact with this because they might be carrying a malware link or a phishing link. So we must be careful of these spam emails. If we find any email that is spam, we must report it as spam so that next time it lands in your inbox, it will be directly shifted to, or it will directly land into a spam email box or spam inbox, not in your main primary inbox. As in, like in every mail service that we use, Outlook or Yahoo or Gmail, they all have this categorization where we can categorize the emails. So if we report it as spam, we won't be seeing it on the top in the primary email box. So we must report it if we find any email that is in our primary inbox and is a spam email. So we must report it as spam. This will move it to spam folder, and it will not, all the emails that are sent to us from that domain will be directly moved to spam inbox. Now, moving on to phishing emails, designed to trick users into sharing personal information like passwords and bank details. Often look like legitimate emails from trusted organizations. Example, banks and schools. Now, what happens with these phishing emails? It will ask you, or they will send you an email where they will ask you to reset your password, or someone is trying to access your account. Now, what we have to do with these emails, first of all, we have to go to the sender section and check the email of the sender. What happens is most of the time the sender's domain is not the legitimate one, and it does have a link in the email's body that is asking you to use that link and reset your password. Now what they'll do is once you enter your old password over there and click on reset password, the password will not be reset, or the old password will be sent to them, which will give access to the hacker. So phishing emails will be designed in such a manner that they will trick you into sharing your personal information like passwords or bank details. It will look like a legitimate website, or will be very, very similar to the original one, but it won't be the original or legitimate website. So that is how phishing emails work. They will create an email template that will like, look exactly like the original one, but is not sent from the authentic source. So we must check for the authentic source, and then after cross-checking that, then we have to interact with that email. And if we find it that it is a phishing email, we must report it so that it will move to spam, or report it and then delete it. Now, third one is the malware attachments, virus or ransomwares, may be disguised as attachment. Example, invoice.pdf.exe. Now, every attachment in the email has an extension. So these extension, as you can see over here, it says invoice.pdf.exe. So it has multiple extensions. Like one is a PDF and another one is exe. So these extensions, when they are clubbed together, the last one will be used or interpreted as the main extension. So even though if it says invoice.pdf, it will use it as exe. Exe stands for executables. Now, what does executables mean? Executables means that it will provide commands to your system, and it will execute a set of instructions. So that, like, if we open Word on our laptops or our systems or our phones, what happens is we click on the Word icon twice, and it will open an application. So that application is executing the commands for opening the application. And once we start typing in it, it will execute these commands like typing, whatever we are typing, it will send those commands to the processor, and the processor will execute those commands and show us the output. And but the primary use of a PDF is to just open the PDF and then show us the text present in it. So we must be cautious about these extensions or the attachments that are present in the email. We must look first of all for the authentic source, and then if there is an attachment with that email, we must look properly that that the attachment does not have multiple extensions. Even though it has multiple extensions, we must not open it. Now, there's a real world example for this. Email threats are: an email titled "Your school fee receipt" asks you to click a link and enter your bank password. So you are in a school, and you receive an email from your school asking for your uh, telling you to download your school fees receipt. Once you click on that link, you enter to your bank. Once you click on that link, you are redirected to your bank's website that looks exactly like same but does not have the correct domain in the address bar, and it asks you to enter your bank details to download your school fees receipt. So this is how the email threats are present in today's world. There's one more very common example for these email threats that happened in earlier 2000. Uh, there's a virus known as "I love you" virus. What happens in that virus was someone wrote it in Visual Basic script. Visual Basic is a programming language. So someone wrote it as script. What happens? What it does was, if it is attached in an email and sent to someone, what it will do, it will, once you click run on it or you download it, it will fetch all your contacts from your contact list from that email and send the exact same email along with that attachment to all those people. There were nearly 2 million computers affected at that time, and the name of the attachment was sent attachment was loveletter.vbs. So the extension was not txt or pdf, it says vbs. Vbs is a Visual Basic script. So we must be cautious about the malware attachments that are present in the email. Now, how does a phishing email look like? We'll now discuss about how we can detect that the email that is sent to us or that we received in our inbox is a phishing email. First of all, it will have a generic greeting, "Dear user" or "Dear customer." If the company is sending us, or if we have received this email from an authentic source, we will have our name or the username or the email that we have provided to that company or the service that we are availing from. It will contain our name or our username that we set while creating the account on that service. It will not have a generic greeting such as dear user. It says dear user or dear customer over here. It will have an urgent tone. Urgent tone like your account will be blocked. Someone is trying to access your account. We have blocked your account and it will be deleted in 24 hours. So these kind of urgency or urgent tone, they will be making it very urgent so that it looks like it is very urgent and you have to do it right now. And from this urgent tone, they'll trick you into using the link that is present in that email. After that, they also have suspicious link not matching the company's domain. As I've said earlier, also, you can see up in the receivers section where it says Apple support, and it has this domain from which it is sent. Like this is some random hash or some random characters that are placed over here at the rate with this something like this that is also random generated characters. So this is not legitimate website or this is not legitimate Apple support domain that they sent email from. So this is another sign that the phishing this is a phishing email. After that, it will also have grammatical errors or strange formatting. Grammatical errors like they have no comma after dear customer. It have odd characters like unlock account and it has an greater than sign in the emails and open a separate browser log into your account manually. It has this also has the bad grammar over here in this section. If you don't unlock your account before 24 hours, your account password will change automatically. You can reset your password at iforgotapple.com. So this is also bad grammar. Also, it does not have any footer with company information. It has a blank footer, which also tells us that it does not have any contact us or about page. So these are some signs or symbols that we can or indicators that we can look for in an email that will tell us that this is a phishing email or this is not an authentic email. So we must look for these kind of signs before interacting with an email. Now, how we can secure our inbox? We can secure our inbox by using strong and unique passwords, enabling two-factor authentication, filter and label emails with built-in spam filters, update email app browsers regularly to stay protected from known vulnerabilities, use a reputable antivirus program. Now, using strong and unique password can help us a lot. What happens is the hackers try to guess our password by using multiple combinations of characters that might gain access to your account. So we must use strong password and unique passwords. So strong using how can we create a strong password? We must create a strong password by the combination of an capital letter and a small letter, numericals and special characters. We must create different and unique combinations of these categories of characters, and then we can use it. That is how we create a strong password and unique password, enabling two-factor authentication. Even if a strong or unique password got leaked or got breached, not leaked by us, but got breached from the database, two-factor authentication can still save us. So we must enable two-factor authentication because what happens if the user tries to enter our credentials, it will ask for the second authentication like OTP or some backup codes or anything like that. It will ask the hacker to authenticate themselves by the another layer that is present or enabled on the application service. Filter and label emails with built-in spam filters. As I've told you earlier that we can categorize emails into different categories on from the email services that is provided to us. So these service providers or email service providers have built-in spam filters that works automatically, but we can also report them as spam, which will broaden their database. And when next time the email is sent from that same domain, it will land in directly spam inbox. So we can filter and label emails with this built-in spam filter. We must update email apps and browser regularly to stay protected from known vulnerabilities. Now, what happens is whenever a software is released or whenever we are using a service, it has some known vulnerabilities that can be exploited to gain access or for malicious purposes or ulterior motives. Now, what happens is the every update in these applications or browsers or services, they patch these known vulnerabilities so that the data is safe and protected, and no one else can access the account except the person whose account that really is. So use updated app and emails browsers, so that we can be protected from known vulnerabilities. Use a reputable antivirus program. Now, why do we say we use a reputable antivirus program? So these programs works on databases. A reputable antivirus program have a large database of known viruses and the ways how the viruses evade the antiviruses. So we must use a reputable antivirus program. Now, what are safe email practices that we must follow? First one is never click on suspicious or shortened link. For example, we have over here in this email that it says unlock account. This link is suspicious and we must not click on this link because it is, first of all, it is hidden inside this text, and secondly, this has an odd character over here which makes it suspicious. Do not download unexpected attachments even from known contacts. As we have discussed earlier, that there might be a slight chance that the person who has shared you an attachment, their account might also get compromised. So we must not open unexpected attachments from our known contacts. We must discuss it before downloading or interacting with that attachment. Now, verify the sender's email address carefully. We must verify the sender's email address carefully. As we can see over here, that the sender's email address is not the authentic one. It is some random characters with a random service. So we must check for the sender's email address before interacting with that email or interacting with the link or attachment present in that email. Reporting phishing emails to your email provider. As I said earlier, also, reporting phishing emails will broaden the database of the email provider or the service provider, and it will help you also that next time when you receive an email from that service, it will directly land into your spam folder. So, reporting phishing emails to your email provider is a safe email practice. Avoid using public Wi Fi while accessing your email account. What happens is public Wi-Fi's most of the time people are eavesdropping on that network by intercepting all the traffic that is going through that Wi-Fi network. So we must avoid using public Wi-Fi's while accessing our email account. We can use our mobile data or mobile hotspot. In mobile also, while using mobile hotspot, we must ensure that the mobile is not connected to public Wi-Fi and using mobile data only, so that the data that is going through the network is protected and encrypted. Also, you can hover over links before clicking to check where they actually go. For example, it is the link is hidden inside the this text. So what they might have done is that under if we hover over it, it will show a shortened link. So what we can do for the shortened link is we can go to Google and then click on and then search for redirect tracer, or you can say trace the redirection link, and then hit enter, and then you can paste that same link or shortened link over there, and then you can check where that link is redirecting to. So these are some practices that help us keep our emails safe. Now, how can we create a strong password? We can create a strong password by using a mix of mixing by using mixing by mixing uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. Avoid using names, birthdays, or common words. For example, this is a password that you can use. For example, is capital M, and then it has a at the rate symbol, and then it has two small characters, then a capital letter, then a character, and at the end it has numbers and special characters. This is how you can create your own strong and unique password. And we must change our password regularly, because what happens is we don't know if the database are getting breached. So if the database gets breached, our old password is leaked. So, and what happens if our old password is leaked and they have our email already? So what they'll do, they'll try to uh, do credential stuffing on other services also, where we might have an account and they might get access to it. So we must change passwords regularly, so that it is not easily guessable, and we have upper hand. If in case the database got breached, our passwords are still safe. Now, role of email in cyber hygiene. It is it is part of our digital footprint. A compromised email can expose our social media accounts, bank and payment app, cloud storage, and personal documents. It is basically a digital identity passport. Now, let's take an example of our email, our Gmail, our primary Gmail that we have. So it contains our photos. We have our social media accounts linked to it. Even we have our gaming accounts linked to it. Now we can also store the card information over there, the cloud storage and personal documents we store over there. So this is, if that email is compromised, all these things are exposed. They can use it as our identity and can perform any malicious task with ulterior motives, and the victim will think that we are the culprit and we have done this to them. If if we are safe and we are practicing the cyber hygiene, so we will be protected and we will be safe while using emails. Now, what to do if you suspect an email? Do not interact with it. First of all, if you have opened it, do not click on reply, or do not download any kind of attachment from it. Report it to your email provider or a trusted adult. If clicked by mistake, disconnect from internet, run antivirus, change your passwords immediately, inform your school, IT team, or parent. So first of all, what you have to do is you have to disconnect from the internet. So what these malwares do is they will connect to an server or a remote server and send your data to that server. So the first point of contact is disconnecting the internet, which will interrupt the connection and your data will be on your system. Then you have to delete that virus. So what? How can we do that? We can do that by running an antivirus program, an antivirus scan on our system that will detect the virus that we have mistakenly download, and after detecting that virus, it will ask you to delete that virus, and now your system is free from that malware. Now what you have to do, you have to change your passwords immediately. In case that your password is sent to the remote server or to the hacker, if you reset your password or change your password, they won't be able to access your account. So change your password immediately. If you're using your school computer or an organization's computer, you can report it to them, and if you are at home, you can report it to a parent. Now you can report cyber crimes at cybercrime portal at cybercrime.gov.in. You can also report it by calling the helpline number at 1930. We also have child helpline number at 1098. Now, before we move on to our quiz section, we have today's assignment, which is simulate a phishing campaign awareness report, identify a mock attack scenario, and draft an awareness email for students. In this, what you have to do, you have to write an email for students telling them that this is how phishing works, and this is a phishing awareness campaign, and we must look out for what are the signs that we discussed in this session and create an email for students. You can upload your assignments over there in this on this form, and you can scan this QR code to open the assignment link. What you have to do is you have to upload your assignment and then close the browser, as the form will not allow you to submit until you upload all 10 assignments. So to upload all 10 assignments, you have to complete all 10 sessions. So what you have to do is upload your module 4 assignment and then close the form. Your data is saved automatically. You will also be able to see all 3 assignments that you have uploaded over there and the one you have uploaded just now. So there will be all total 4 assignments that will present over there. Now let's move on to our quiz section. What is phishing? So phishing is basically an email attack that is done by an actor or an phishing email sent to you to get your details or credentials from you. Now, name 2 signs of a suspicious email. 2 signs of a suspicious email are that it will have poor grammar and it will not have an about us or contact section. What should you do if you click a phishing link? If we click on a phishing link, first of all, we must not enter our details and we must not enter our details. Secondly, disconnect from the internet, run an antivirus scan, and then change our password immediately and report to IT admin or school admin or to an adult. Now, moving on to our next question, which is what are primary differences between spam and phishing emails? The primary difference between spam and phishing emails are spam emails are or spam emails can be business promotions, newsletters, or any kind of an information about new product launches or sent by the companies for business promotions or an advertisements. Phishing emails are those emails that are sent to you targeted or sent targeting a person in with the motive of or intention of extracting information from them. Now what are now why is email security considered critical for protecting your digital identity? Email security is considered critical for protecting our digital identity because our emails contains a lot of data. Data like our social media accounts are linked to our email. Our bank and payment applications are linked to our email. Cloud storage and personal documents are stored on our email. So these are the things that are crucial or critical for protecting our digital identity or email security. What are red flags found in the phishing email? So the red flags found in the phishing emails are it will not have the authentic sender. It will have generic greeting. The link attached to it will be suspicious. It will not have the footer information or about us, about company. It will have bad grammar and strange formatting. So these are the red flags found in an phishing email. Why is it recommended to hover over links in an email before clicking them? It is recommended to hover over links in an email before clicking on them because hovering over the links will show or reveal where the link is redirecting to or the complete URL of that link that is embedded in that link. So that is the main reason or why it is recommended to hover over the links. What specific components should be included to create strong and secure passwords? So the specific components that should be included to create strong passwords are uppercase letter, lowercase letter, numbers, and special characters. Beyond using strong password, what other technical measures can be used to secure an inbox? Beyond using strong passwords, we can use or enable two-factor authentication, filter and label emails with the built-in spam filters. We can update email apps and browsers regularly to stay protected. Now, let's move on to situation based questions or scenario based questions. Scenario 1. You receive an email with the subject "Your account will be blocked" that uses an urgent tone and asks you to click on a link to verify your identity. What are the red flags should you look for before taking any action? So, you receive an email that says with the subject line that your account will be blocked, that uses an urgent tone, and it asks you to verify your identity. What are the red flags that we must look for before taking any action or interacting with it? So, first one is the subject line itself. Your account will be blocked. That creates an urgent tone. Besides it, we must check for other signs like if it is the sender is the authentic one or is the correct one with the correct domain. Second, the formatting of that email is not off or not bad, is correct. It does not have any grammatical errors and it does contain the contact us information or footer section of that email. And one more thing, that it is greeting us with our username for that service that we created on. Now, moving on to our next scenario. You get an email from Apple support. When you check the sender's address, it is a long string of random characters. Should you trust this email? Why or why not? We must not trust this email as it says Apple support and the sender's address is a long string of characters which is not authentic or which is not correct. So we must not trust this email because it is a suspicious email. It might be a phishing email, so we must not interact with it. Now, moving on to our next scenario. You are at a coffee shop and need to check your email using their free public Wi Fi. What is the recommended safety practice for this situation according to the document or according to what we discussed? If we are at a coffee shop and we need to check our email address using their free public Wi Fi, what should we do or what is recommended for this scenario that we must do? So, we must not use free public Wi Fi. We must use our mobile data or a mobile hotspot, ensuring that the mobile is not connected to public Wi Fi and using mobile data. so that the data is sent to the network via via a protected network or an encrypted network, and no one is eavesdropping on that network. So it is recommended to use the mobile data or mobile hotspot, ensuring that the mobile data is on and public Wi-Fi is disconnected. Moving on to our next scenario, we accidentally clicked on a suspicious link in a phishing email. What are the immediate three steps we should take to secure our device and data? So, if we click on a suspicious phishing email or the link that is present in that phishing email, we must we must first of all disconnect from the internet, run an antivirus scan, and then change our password immediately. Or we can change our password immediately and then disconnect the internet and then run an antivirus scan. Now let's move on to our next scenario. You are setting up a new email account and need to choose a password. If you want to follow the document's guidelines for a strong password, what elements must you include? So if we are setting up a new email account and we need to choose a password and we need it to be strong and unique, what elements we must include? So we must include the uppercase letter, lowercase letter, numbers, and special characters. So this is how, or the combinations or different combinations of these categories, we can create a strong and unique password. Now, moving on to our next section, next scenario. You want to go beyond just a strong password to secure your inbox from hackers. What additional technical security feature does the document strongly recommend you to enable? So, you want to go beyond just a strong password to secure our inbox from hackers. What additional technical security feature we can enable to keep our account secure? So, two-factor authentication is a way or technical security feature that we can enable on our account to keep it secure from hackers. Now, moving on to our next scenario. An email from a supposed trusted organization addresses you as dear user or dear customer instead of using your name. Why is this considered a sign of phishing attempt? An email from a supposed trusted organization addresses you as dear user or dear customer instead of using our name or our username. Then why is it considered as a sign of phishing attempt? So it is considered as a phishing attempt because the trusted organization will always address us by our name or our username that we have shared with them, and it will also make us suspicious that the link attached in that email is a phishing link. So if the organization addresses us as dear user or dear customer, we must make or think about it before clicking the link in the body of that email. Now, moving on to our next scenario. An email titled Your School Fee Receipt arrives, asking you to click a link and enter your bank password. Based on safe email practices, how should you handle this request? An email titled Your School Fee Receipts arrive in your email inbox, asking you to click the link and enter your bank password. So, how you should handle this request? So first of all, we must check for the sender's address. If the sender's address is authentic, but if it is asking us to enter our bank password, so it might be a phishing attempt where the school's account is compromised and a phishing link or phishing attempt is tried from that account. So we must not enter our bank password to download our school fees receipts. This is how we must handle the request. So that was our last scenario. Before we uh, le- end this session, let's discuss about what are the key takeaways of our today's session. Email is a powerful tool, but needs careful handling. We must be mindful while using our email. Be alert for signs of phishing and spam emails. Enable two-factor authentication and never share your passwords. Treat suspicious emails as threats and do not engage. So that is it for today's session. We'll see you on next session on next Saturday. Thank you guys for joining today's session.